Hey everybody, I'm Clifford Stummy, the Pop Song Professor. Welcome to my channel. If you are looking for deeper meaning to your music, you have come to a pretty awesome channel to find some of that. And today we are talking about Training Wheels by Melanie Martinez, as requested by a lot of you. The Banana Project 15, Alex Smith, Slimy Time TV, and perhaps most notably, Fotini Tsakardanu. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but essentially, on last week's Melanie Martinez Mondays video, you got 25 upvotes for your suggestion of Training Wheels, and so that is what we are doing today. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Essentially, Training Wheels is Melanie Martinez's one of her first attempts at a love song. In fact, I've got a quote here from where she did an interview with Pop Dust. She says, "It's the first love song I've ever written, honestly. It's interesting because I'm not used to writing happy songs like that. I wanted to challenge myself in that way too. It's about being okay with being in love. I mean, he's riding a bike with training wheels, and I want to take them off and go to the next step. I want to ride a two-wheeler with you. That's the whole point of the song. That's my mentality. And then Pity Party happens, and now I'm just a wreck and completely insane." As you probably know, Crybaby, the album, is a concept album that goes through a lot of different stories in the life of the, young character Crybaby. She's growing up, and there's a lot of things that happen to her. Training Wheels, like she just said, is a love song, and it's also one of the few positive songs because it's about wanting to take a relationship to the next level, wanting to let go of training wheels and to kind of be adults with the other person. Now, some of the imagery is definitely not adult-like, which I find interesting, and it kind of sets up, it really does speak to the fact that Melanie Martinez is an adult, using children metaphors, but it kind of reminds us that in the end, like, she's still not a kid, even if she's working through some of those stuff. She is an adult, and she's doing adult things. Particularly when she sings about being fully undressed with this person. So she really does care about this person. She's got her hand on his seat, and if you've ever ridden a bike before, you essentially know that, like, you can kind of grab the seat where a person sits and use it to help balance them as they're, biking forward. She says she also carries band-aids on her now for when this guy's soft hands hit the jagged ground. So she's taking care of him, she's caring about him, and she really wants to help him succeed in being able to ride his bike and essentially, I think, become an adult in this relationship or to take it to the next level. I like the lines, "Promise I won't push you straight to the dirt. If you promise me you'll take them off first." And she's talking about the training wheels. And I was just kind of wondering, like, if he didn't take the training wheels off and if he was too scared to move ahead in the relationship, would she really, like, knock him over? So I'm not really sure, especially because she has band-aids to, like, stop the bleeding when he does fall over. So, those lyrics were kind of amusing to me. But it kind of shows that, like, she is a person with needs and emotions here, and who can get angry and is not perfect. But in the chorus, she sings, "I love everything you do. When you call me effing dumb for the stupid shit I do, I want to ride my bike with you." So she really is in love with this guy. She cares about him, even if she puts up with a little bit of crap from him. And when she says, "I want to ride my bike with you," I think that's a metaphor for being in a committed relationship with you. And then fully undressed. And so we're talking about a sexual aspect to this relationship and wanting to become an adult. So I think that in some ways, taking the training wheels off is a reference to the maturing emotionalness of the relationship, but it's also a reference to how they are becoming more maybe sexually active together, and the training wheels could be a metaphor for the clothes themselves in a way. It gets even a little bit more sexual when she says, "I'll pull them off for you," referring to the training wheels. Verse 2 is kind of sweet, telling you things you already know, asking you where you want us to go. You've been riding two-wheelers all your life. Now, he has been using training wheels, so has he technically been riding two-wheelers, or has he been riding four-wheelers? In any case, he's riding this two-wheeler, but he needs to take the training wheels off so that it's truly a two-wheeler. Or it could be that in other relationships he was more committed, but he's for some reason not able to be as committed in this relationship. She reminds him, "It's not like I'm asking to be your wife. I want to make you mine, but that's hard to say. Is this coming off in a cheesy way?" And so she's kind of conflicted. She's saying, like, I don't want to, like, scare you too much. I'm not asking you to ride a unicycle, but I am wanting to go to the next level, and I hope that that's not too scary for you. Like, what gives? What's the problem here? And at the same time, there's not necessarily a problem. It's just that she wants to move forward, and she's kind of wondering, like, why haven't we already? Or it could be a much more positive interpretation where she's saying, like, hey, I am ready to move forward, and she hasn't heard from him yet. But in, like, verse 2, where she says, "It's not like I'm asking to be your wife," it's like she's arguing with herself, like, yeah, I'm not asking. It's not like I'm wanting to be too serious. Like, this shouldn't be a problem for him to accept this, right? So there's definitely some interesting back and forth going on inside of her head. And I think I go back to this line in verse 1 where she says, "Wheels aren't even touching the ground." And so it's like he doesn't need the training wheels. It's just he's kind of keeping them in reserves in case he thinks he does. It's almost as if though he's going into this relationship and saying, and he's not like fully committing himself so that he could pull out at any minute. And so in the end, training wheels is basically just a love song, but it's a pretty interesting one that uses this metaphor of training wheels to represent something that keeps us from being fully committed to the other person, whether that's clothing in a sexual situation, or just kind of backups or lack of emotional commitment in a more relationship-focused situation. Now, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this song by Melanie Martinez, and don't forget that Melanie Martinez Mondays are probably going to continue to be a thing, but I need to hear from you guys. What song do you want to hear me explain next week? Which one's your favorite? Don't forget to upvote other similar Melanie Martinez songs in the comments down below. I do have to let you know that I'm thinking about instead doing Eminem Mondays and seeing how those go, but if a lot of you guys watch this video and like it and you want to keep doing this, let me know and we'll keep up with the Melanie Martinez Mondays. In any case, guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check out some of the other videos around my face right now, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.